Hello and welcome to Sim.bc, where right now is 18:38 in the evening. It's really late. Why? Because I've been in school all day. Isn't that just the best thing? Started off with oversleeping. Yeah, ain't a better way of starting a day than that. Why? Well, because my new phone, I was trying out Bixby yet again, trying to set the alarm, and needless to say, it didn't. I'm just happy that I woke up by myself. Probably because I said the wrong day, because it had set the alarm for Wednesday, and today it's Tuesday. So probably I waited until 2 minutes past midnight and said, set an alarm for tomorrow. And it was like, it's Tuesday today, technically. Not that any sane person in the world would say that it's actually Tuesday. 12 in the evening. But people would still be in the mindset that, it's Monday, as it was 2 minutes ago. But no. The phone were all like, you know what? It's Tuesday in my book. That's all that matters. Anyway, it works totally fine. It's just that it's a user problem, right? But anyway, so I overslept a bit. So I might be a bit crunky today. No, but I might be a bit tired today, as I've been during the entire day. But we had a presentation that went fine. Went and had some lunch. Then we went into a computer lab where we sat down, refreshed our memory about Excel that I haven't used since 13 months ago, something like that, when we had Corporate Finance 1, and right now we have Advanced Corporate Finance or Corporate Finance 2, however you want to call it. So that's all good, all fine, all dandy. But, mates, that's not why you're here now, is it? No, you're not here to listen to me talking about me day. No matter that I do it all the goddamn time. No matter if you want to or not. No, that's not why you're here. You're here to listen to me talk about something completely different, yeah? Namely, what is evil? Our project that we got going on. And you've come to the right place, because this is the place where I discuss psychological controversy almost as much as I spend time in Excel and study in school. It's unfortunate, but it's true. But it's still fun though. I mean, it's an experience, and isn't that what life is all about? Talking about different experiences. And what is life all about? That perfectly segues into today's topic, because today we're gonna talk about something else that I came up with before I went to sleep. That yet again I was thinking like, this time, finally, I've been finding something that actually makes sense. I found the one and only true topic, right? That's gonna make sense of evil. I found the one thing that's actually gonna make sense tomorrow when I stand and talk in front of a camera by myself in my room with my curtains down and all the, lamps on in the middle of the day. Anyway, what did I come up with? Well, I came up with the brilliant idea, right, of ups and downs. Yep, that's what my brain left me with when I was going to sleep. So at around 1 a.m, my brain was just like, ups and downs. It's brilliant, mate. I mean, Picasso, right? Worthy. Leonardo DiCaprio would be happy to have this idea in his mind. He would totally just realize it, in a sense, directly, with no shortcuts, with no in-betweens. And I was just like, this is amazing, this is golden, this is making me God on earth. And as I stood here today and was reading through my notes, I was like, what kind of brilliant idea did I have yesterday? And I saw ups and downs. I was just like, okay, it's another abstract video, it is. But I'm happy no matter what. Why? Because I had some ideas. Because when I was reading this through yesterday, or rather today during the afternoon, I was all like, well, there actually are some applications of talking about ups and downs, and actually connecting it to evil as well. So I can start off with saying, what do I actually mean when I'm saying ups and downs? Because that's quite diffuse in and within itself now, isn't it? Most people are gonna be saying that, well, an up is something positive, a down is something negative. And I would tend to agree. It's actually exactly the same as I'm going to say. But however, I'm going to introduce this new idea. And this is not just because I'm a Swede yet. This is not just because of Lagom. This is because of some comedians I've seen. But also, it does have some psychological grounding to it simultaneously, as it is the basis for some religions out there in the world. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about life is a constant stream of ups and downs. Kind of karma in a way, right? That when something really great happens, something really bad is, bound to follow. and then it goes up and down. And the taller the mountains are, so to say, in your life, the lower the valleys will be. So some people are preaching the idea, yeah, they're preaching that I believe in God, I believe in hell, I believe that if I am a decent person, I will come to heaven where everybody is, dressed in white for some reason and drinking honey, and that, I don't know, that's just tend to be what, I don't know, religious people like for some reason. And they're all saying the same thing, right? That I should try and live my life evenly. Or not all of them, of course. I'm generalizing for comedic effect. That probably didn't land anyway. But I am generalizing. Of course, not everybody is saying that. That would be arrogant and stupid to say that everybody is in a certain way, as we talked about in yesterday's video, which you can go and check out if you haven't, because it was quite good talking about stereotypes. Anyway, we're probably going to kind of segue into that idea as well. So, you have these people who are preaching religion, they're preaching karma, they really believe in these things, which I'm not even going to lay my personal comment on, even though it's probably obvious when I think about it. Anyway, and they say that it's better to live your life so that, you have small mountains and hence small valleys. Yeah? You shouldn't be super happy because that will only mean that you're going to be super sad afterwards. And some people have come up and critiqued this by saying that, well, you don't necessarily, right, need to have a deep valley just because you've had a high mountain upwards, right? And I will tend to meet this criticism, so to say, by saying that it's all relative. And I know some people are going to be out there sitting in your chairs and just be like, that's a bullshit term. Everything's relative. But yeah, it is. And I know that some people are going to say that's just an out. Yeah, that's just an out for some people, saying that everything is relative. Is everything really relative? And I would argue yet again, yes. Because just imagine, right, that everything's going great in your life. Everything is perfect, it's peachy, you're healthy, everybody you love are healthy, there's nobody that dislikes you, everything is just, so good. I mean, there is nothing you would change, not even something that you can breed your imagination to change, even if you were forced to at gunpoint. No. Everything is just great, and it's crazy in a way, and you're a bit scared, but it's great. That's just the way, like, the life you live in, setting the stage, I'd say, setting the context. Now, if you happen to live in such a world, and for instance, the pancakes are gone, you're out of pancakes one day, that would be ludicrous. I mean, imagine, right? You've been living your entire life, right? Basing that everything that you want, you get, and everything you need, you have. And one day when let's take a number. One day when you're 46, you open your drawers and there's no pancakes there. And you're just like, what's happened now? And perhaps you have a mental breakdown. Perhaps you say, that's not a big deal. But simultaneously, in comparison to everything else around you, that is just perfect. This is going to be kind of a big deal that you don't have pancakes, which is going to make you relatively going from the top of a mountain down to a really low valley. However, if we have the same kind of person, right, but that has lived on the street, so we're going to say that it's the exact same person, just that the living conditions are different. And I know the theory of that technically the same person would act and argue in the same way. I'm not of that belief. I think that contextual, implications actually influences us a lot. So contextual and situational factors actually tend to have a very strong influence on us people, and hence making us different people if we exhibit and are exposed to different living conditions. That's just my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. As usual, I might be wrong. I'm probably wrong, right? No, I'm not probably wrong, but I could be wrong. Leave your comments in the comment section below and describe why I'm wrong. Please leave some form of, motivation as to why. Anyway, just believe that the exact same person, right, has instead been living on the street their entire life. Right? And let's yet again say that they're 46, just for reference. Just for continuity, right? Saying that this person that is 46 lived on the street, fought for the food, everything's bad, everybody they love hate them. It's the worst kind of pain they've ever been in, but it's all they've ever knew, really. So technically, in their life, they're average. Even though everything is going bad for them, and putting anyone like me, like you who's watching this video, probably, right? Putting us into their shoes would make us feel like we're the worst person ever, and that everything, not that we're the worst person ever, but that we're in the worst possible situation as possible in the world, right? However, for this person, this is everyday life. That's all they've ever knew. So their life is a bit average, you know. And then one day they find 2 socks, right? 2 socks that are whole, 2 socks they get, 2 socks that are given to them. Any of the choice that you make. And this is becoming a huge up in their world, right? I mean, this is the best thing that's happened since sliced bread. They can't even fathom what just happened, that they got 2 pairs of socks on a Tuesday. I mean, woohoo! I mean, can you put yourself into the situation that everything's relative, right? That if you have everything, something, no matter how minor, is going to set you off and believe that you have a really shitty day. However, if you don't have anything and you get something, no matter what that something is, it's going to make you feel like that's a pretty good day. See what I'm saying? Following the argumentation, of course, you can take it to more extreme points than I've done, and it might not hold up, but we're operating in the gray area in between. You know, 99.9999999% of everything that happens in the world is happening in between those extreme brackets, if you do take them up, and it doesn't seem to hold. However, how am I connecting this to evil? Well, the entire idea of putting the stage for this, setting the stage to this, putting you into the context, is saying that everything's relative based on the examples that we just went through. And since everything is relative, people can experience an act of betrayal, an act of kindness, an act of friendship, an act of anything really, very, very differently. For instance, the person who had everybody who loved him or her, let's just say him, for me, making it easier for me to use some, general pronoun. Let's just say that everybody he ever loved were there for him and loved him back. Now, the one day that one of the person that he loved, one of his friends, said, "You're a bit of a douche," he would think that that's evil, because based on everything else he's ever known, that's the most evil thing he's ever experienced, right? Do you follow me? Same goes to the person who lives on the street then, or the same person living on the street, but exhibit very different life conditions. Not having any friends, everybody who hates, like everybody he loves hates him back, and one day someone just, instead of hitting him, they just spit on him, yeah, when they walk by. That would be an act of kindness in relation to the usual hit, the usual punishment, a lesser punishment maybe in a way, but that would be less evil perhaps, or even kind, as I said. So experiencing evil, really, and this is important in order for setting the stage for future conversation about the topic and for future conclusions of the topic, is that really focusing a video on people are having ups and downs in their life, and most of us have them quite often, right? No matter if one tends to extend the other in a lifespan, right? The up tends to be longer than the down. We always tend to go up and down. It can happen several times in a day, can happen several times in a week, can happen several times in a month, but the basis of it is that it happens to all of us quite often, no matter if we want to or not, even though we try to avoid it or not. It's something that, yet again, I believe is kind of this inevitable situation, based on that we can't actually influence everything else around us and can't control everything else around us, so it's inevitable that we're going to run into a situation where we either go really up or go really down. Now, the implication of this, or rather the consequences of this, is that we can have been exposed to a certain act, like for a year, by a friend. It might have been some friendly banter at first, it gone on to a bit of a tedious thing, and now something else has happened in your life. Maybe your keyboard broke, maybe your camera broke, maybe your computer broke, or maybe you just dropped your water bottle. Something that was the last straw that made the camel's back break. And now all of a sudden you're in a low. You've been on a reasonable high as of late, over the last year. For some magical reason, you've been up there the entire year, slowly climbing up, and now you come crashing down. And this person comes along, your friend, with some friendly bands, yet again, just saying that, haha, you're pretty good looking, given that you have so ugly clothes. And you're just like, that's it! you're evil. And you just take a stance on that this person who has been with you now for a year, that you've considered to be your friend, that's only done these friendly bands, and that you actually do tend to like, and you look up to this person, who you trust this person. Now on this day, this was just it. And you believe this person, you draw the conclusion in your head, something just snaps, and you believe that this person is evil, because then you try to make a rationale for your behavior of being angry with this person, right? Because you become angry because you just can't take it that day. And your rationale is that, well, this has been happening over the last year. This is actually bullying. And I'm not at all condescending people who are bullied. Absolutely not. This is just one example of one very isolated theoretical case. I mean, if you're bullied, it's probably not because you're making it up yourself. You probably, unfortunately, are. And that's really a sad, how can I save face here? You should totally seek help if that's the case, and it's a serious thing, and you should really discuss it with people close to you and everybody who wants to help you. Now, I'm not saying that bullying, for instance, is the case. Anyway, you understand that I'm not trashing bullying in general, right? I'm just using this as a very situational kind of example. So anyway, your rationale in your brain trying to say that this tedious person is bullying me, which makes you think that this person is evil. Even if it is like that, or if it isn't. Even if this person has changed their bands, so to say, or if they haven't. And you just believe that this person is evil now. Which can be a rationale that you keep on, that you hold on to for several years. So even though you're gonna up on a high again, so to say, you're up on a mountain, everything's good again. When this person rolls around, you're still mad at them because you truly believe, your brain has made it up to be that they were truly evil to you for an entire year. And now you're standing there and being like, well, you're an evil bastard, I don't like you. Do you understand how serious that is in a way? That kind of snap that can happen in the brain based on, who you are as a person and based on what else is happening around you. Which yet again comes back to this idea that just because everybody is perceiving something to be good or perceiving something to be bad doesn't really mean that it is good or bad, or that it is good or evil. It is based on your own individual perception of how reality is and how you feel in that moment, given all of the chaotic environment around you, giving all of the immeasurable valuables around you. You can't really calculate, right? You can't actually control everything that is around you. Hence, sometimes you're going to think that some influences are more evil than others, especially if it happens in comparison to something else that might be working as a catalysis point for this source of evil that you may find. Anyway, that was kind of it, mates. I know this was kind of abstract, and that we were talking about it for a long time. Believe me, I can feel it in my throat, yeah. And this is not one of those times where I'm going to let the DSLR run out before I can actually click stop on the recording. So, without any further ado, mates, have a really nice day. I'm gonna eat some food and get some sleep, probably, and then go out for a casual jog, because that's what I do, fit person and all of that. Love to be outside, even though it's still snowing, and it's soon April. Just Swedish things, I guess. Anyway, mates, have a nice day, and I'll see you tomorrow with some more discussion.